Lappin and Lapinova is a short story by Virginia Woolf. Narrated by a third-person unnamed narrator, the story is set in England. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Lappin and Lapinova begins with newlywed Rosalind and Ernest Thorburn, deeply in love with each other. However, one morning, Rosalind begins to see her husband differently, likening him to a rabbit instead of the Ernest she knows. A hunting rabbit, a king rabbit, a rabbit that makes laws for all the other rabbits. Despite other people not noticing this resemblance, Rosalind and Ernest construct their own private world, seeing each other as rabbits. He was King Lappin, she was Queen Lapinova. Rosalind, feeling isolated as an only child and an orphan, finds herself at odds with Ernest's large, aristocratic family during his parents' 50th anniversary celebration party. The lavish party, complete with gleaming portraits and stories of mischief, accentuates her sense of disconnection. She gifts an antiquated sand caster, feeling out of place among all the large Thorburn family in their grand drawing room. During dinner, she was feeling restless, but she heard a woman saying they breed so. Then John bawled, "Little devils. Shoot M. Jump on M with big boots. That's the only way to deal with M. Rabbits." Rosalind links the word rabbit with magic and fantasizes about the Thorburn family losing their identities to become caricatured creatures. She imagined her father-in-law to be a poacher, her unmarried sister-in-law to be a white ferret with pink eyes, and her mother-in-law to be a squire. This charade persists for 2 years until Rosalind's mother-in-law passes away, prompting a strange premonition in Rosalind. On another anniversary of the golden wedding party, she awakens in the night, feeling as though Lappin has passed. Upset, she wakes up and shares her feelings with Ernest, who reacts with frustration and tells her to "Don't talk such rubbish, Rosalind." The following day, the restless Rosalind struggles with a sense of loss, convinced that something significant has shifted. She visits the Natural History Museum and is unsettled by a stuffed hare there. When Ernest comes home, he finds her sitting in the dark. She tells him it's Lapinova. "She's gone, Ernest. I've lost her." The story ends with Ernest frowning. He pressed his lips tight together. "Oh, that's what's up, is it?" he said, smiling rather grimly at his wife. For 10 seconds he stood there, silent, and she waited, feeling hands tightening at the back of her neck. "Yes," he said at length. "Poor Lapinova." He straightened his tie at the looking-glass over the mantelpiece. "Caught in a trap," he said, killed, and sat down and read the newspaper. So that was the end of that marriage. Now let's analyze Lappin and Lapinova. In Lappin and Lapinova, Rosalind finds joy in a particular game she shares with Ernest, where he imitates a rabbit by twitching his nose. Rosalind leans on Ernest for emotional support, with his rabbit-like antics serving as her source of happiness. This reliance on Ernest to play the role of King Lappin highlights a broader theme of male dominance in society, highlighting Rosalind's emotional, mental, and financial dependence on him. This leads to the themes of loneliness and escape, particularly highlighting the loneliness experienced by stay-at-home wives whose husbands are often out in the world. This sense of isolation can intensify feelings of depression, leading Rosalind to seek solace in fantasies. Ernest becomes the pivotal point of Rosalind's world, and she relies on the game they play together as a means of escapism. The success of her marriage seems contingent upon this childlike diversion, revealing Rosalind's fear of both the outside world and Ernest's family. He was King Lappin, she was Queen Lapinova. They were the opposite of each other. He was bold and determined, she wary and undependable. He ruled over the busy world of rabbits. Her world was a desolate, mysterious place, which she ranged mostly by moonlight. All the same, their territories touched. They were king and queen. Over the 2 years of their marriage, she finds respite from reality through this coping mechanism. Rosalind views Ernest's family as traditional or outdated, hinting at the prevalent class distinctions during the period depicted in the story. Her perspective on her in-laws and the gifts exchanged during their anniversary indicates the rigid social hierarchy of the time. She saw behind her the decayed family mansion, the plaster peeling off the walls, and heard her, with a sob in her voice, giving thanks to her children for a world that had ceased to exist. The dilapidated state of the mansion symbolizes the decline of the upper class, reflecting broader themes of societal change and decay within the gentry. To deal with her husband's extensive and imposing family, as well as her dissatisfaction with the marriage, Rosalind relies heavily on her fantasy world. She often disconnects from reality, questioning her choices and her connection to Ernest. Her mother-in-law, when they were engaged, had expressed the hope that my son will make you happy. No, she was not happy. Not at all happy. As Ernest gradually withdraws from their playful game, Rosalind confronts the harsh reality that she has not only lost the imaginative realm they shared but also her own identity within it. Symbolized by the imaginative death of both King Lappin and her alter ego, Lapinova. Lappin and Lapinova brusquely ends with the declaration. So that was the end of that marriage, signaling the harsh reality that the marriage has come to an end, shattering the illusion of a fairy tale crafted by Rosalind. The couple drifts apart as the husband fails to fully embrace his wife's imaginative world, preferring to align with his practical and traditional family background. Marked by a sense of masculine dominance, Rosalind perceives Ernest to be as emotionally distant as she views his family, leading her to conclude that she doesn't want to remain in a relationship characterized by such coldness and detachment. The choice to initiate the divorce comes from Rosalind herself as she cries, "It's Lapinova. She's gone, Ernest. I've lost her," indicating that she has asserted her independence. Despite the affectionate nicknames she and Ernest share, Rosalind recognized that her emotional requirements wouldn't be fulfilled within her marriage to Ernest. Thus, she takes charge of her life by pursuing a hinted separation. If not this, then the other grim interpretation of the story's end is that Ernest, in a fit of frustration with his wife's disturbed mental state, strangled her to death as hinted at the end. For 10 seconds he stood there, silent, and she waited, feeling hands tightening at the back of her neck. "Caught in a trap," he said, "killed," and sat down and read the newspaper. It's up to the readers to form their own opinions from the story's conclusion.